Hi, my name is Julie Langenkamp-Muenkel. I'm the editor-in-chief of informationmanagement.com, and I'm here at the TDWI World Conference in Las Vegas, and I am joined by Len Silverston, who is the owner and president of Universal Data Models, and also author of the Data Model Resource series of books. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
The theme of this conference is the data strategy for the enterprise. Can you talk about what that means to you and why it's an important topic right now?
It's really important for organizations to have a data strategy because data is one of the key assets that organizations have. So for instance, organizations have money, they have people, they have brand, they have relationships like customer relationships, and information that they have is a key asset for these organizations. It's like a currency. The contact information that people have, the financial information, the intellectual property that customers have is a huge asset. So there has to be a strategy around how to use and how to manage this asset.
And do you think that most organizations identify the need to have a strategy for the data as they would with any other business strategy for running the organization, or is that a concept that they're still trying to embrace?
What I find as I do consulting for companies all over is many companies don't have an integrated data strategy. They'll have a data governance strategy, they'll have a data modeling strategy, they'll have a data architecture strategy, they'll have an organizational change strategy. But these are all components that ideally should be in a data strategy with a plan for how architecture, governance, modeling, and change management all fit together to really use this really important asset called information.
So for organizations that struggle with integrating those various different silos or those various different strategies that they have, how would you, or what advice would you give them in trying to integrate those facets?
Yeah, so what I think is really important is to spend some time developing a information or data strategy to see how the governance program interacts with the architecture program. For instance, how are we handling master data management? How are we handling data warehousing and business intelligence? How are we handling big data? How are we handling all these different aspects architecturally from a modeling piece and from a governance piece? And many organizations leave out the other piece that I'm talking about, which is organizational change. So many organizations, you know, what's interesting is I get some of the same answers from many organizations all around the world of we are project focused. We are project focused, we're business focused. And when I mention the idea of, hey, when you look at a customer data or product data or by domain and assessing and assigning governance by domain so it's consistent, sometimes I get blank stares.
Understandably so. So how do you address that, and how do you encourage people to adapt the organizational change that you're talking about?
So we've actually developed a whole framework for organizational change that has to do with understanding the motivations, understanding how to create a vision or a strategy around data, how to develop trust so we're actually delivering real return on investment and managing conflict. The nut of the whole thing is what I say is the biggest issue is data mining, not exploration of data, not data mining like exploration of data mining like this data is mine. So this project data is mine, this project data is mine, this project data is mine, and we end up with these silos. So by looking at a data strategy, spending some amount of time seeing how all the pieces fit together, then we're doing integration, combining into a whole, versus looking at all these pieces separately and doing disintegration, which means to separate or to crumble. And if I see how all the pieces fit together, we can make huge strides in helping the business.
Great. Now you mentioned big data, and obviously that's one of the newer technologies or the newer trends. What other, as the last question, just to wrap things up, not necessarily directly related to the data strategy, but what do you see as the most exciting innovation in our marketplace right now? Because things are changing so fast. What excites you, and what do you think that will be big for 2013?
The thing that excites me the most is actually the human dynamics in big data, in data governance, in these different aspects, which I think is actually one of the most ignored subjects that we need to, actually in May I'm giving a course on the human side of big data, and what this is about how we take very important human dynamics and change management dynamics to really make use of the phenomenal amounts of information, like for instance in the big data world.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Len. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.